we all have wounds and egos, and because of this, people are going to say things to us, and even we're going to say things to other people that are either harsh realities, or they're going to be things that trigger us and make us upset or frustrated or irritated. People will just say dumb, nasty things to us. And our first reaction, of course, is to get angry or go on the attack or to get defensive or to be passive aggressive back. But that's when we lose control of ourselves, and that's when we then become very reactive. And I don't know about you, but I definitely am someone where I don't want to be reactive. That's not a fun place to be. I love seeing people where they're very zen, and when something happens, they're non-reactive, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That person was such a jerk, and they were able to just take it and handle it flawlessly, and the non-reactive person comes out unscathed. And so that's why today we're going to talk about how to become non-reactive to others. So when someone says something that's generally mean or hurtful, it doesn't even matter the intent, it doesn't matter if they're trying to be helpful or whatever it is, they are coming from a bad place themselves. They are in a low vibration. They're in a bad place where they feel low, and they want you to feel low just like them. So all they know is they have this negative energy on a very conscious level. They have this negative energy that they feel the need to get out. That's it. They're in a very emotional state, an emotional part of their brain, and they're not thinking logically or reasonably. They're just feeling these feelings they need to get out. So that's why they'll say these nasty, mean, annoying things. And these could be narcissistic people, these could be non-narcissistic people, it doesn't matter. We all have this. When we're in a low place, we'll say these nasty things without thinking. So the way they get out is they may say something passive aggressively, they may say something really hurtful, they may take a low blow, and they're doing this just because they want some type of reaction out of you. They want to see you feel bad because they feel bad. And misery loves company. And once they get this reaction, they can be like, got them. Now they're, low. There's just something about us as humans when we're low, we feel other people feel low. It makes us feel better because we're not in that low place on our own. There's other people that are down in the dumps with us. And obviously it's a temporary feeling, because afterwards it's like, this actually doesn't feel that good. It's a temporary need to be spiteful. So here's the thing, this is where it's to your advantage. Once you understand that and you have that awareness, when someone says something nasty or hurtful to you, you're less likely to go down to that level because you have that awareness of they're not saying it because they're being genuine or because it has something to do with you. They're saying it because they're in a bad, low place, and they're just, spitting things out. Same way with a little kid, when maybe you'll take their candy, they'll say, I hate you. Do they mean it? Do they know what they're saying? No, they're just saying it because they're trying to get these feelings out. And so that's the same thing. Even as adults, we'll do that. We'll say these nasty, hurtful things, and it has nothing to do with us at all. So you have an awareness in that moment that they don't. And it's so important that you're fully aware when someone says something hurtful to you and you feel those moments of, you feel that sensation of feeling hurt. Be like, okay, they're coming from a bad place, they're in a bad mindset, and it's not personal. They then can't take you down with them, because there's that quick evaluation of being like, this is a them problem, this is not a me problem. And it's also important for you to be aware not only of your triggers, but understanding why you got triggered in the first place. Who is this person, and what hold do they have over you? Do you generally get triggered because you're a people pleaser, and when someone says something negative to you, you feel really terrible? That's something that you need to work on. Is it that it's someone that's close to you that you really admire, when they say something negative to you, you get triggered? Why does this have such an effect on you? Do you have a fear of abandonment? What is the deep wound of why you get triggered by this thing? Is it an insecurity they brought up? So once you understand that, because a lot of times when we have insecurities, or we have things, or people have a hold on us, they can control and manipulate us with these things. So when we own our insecurities, or we are okay with the fact that people won't always be satisfied with us, they won't have a hold on us, because we are comfortable with ourselves and we're not trying to feel shame or hide what's going on with us. You are less likely to have a reaction because you already own these things and you're aware of these things. Or on the other side, like I said, you understand that they're coming from a bad place and it's not about you at all. So you're able to own yourself and who you are, and you know that they're not coming from a good place. So it doesn't even matter what they're saying if they're coming from an emotional place. When they're coming from a good place, it's completely different. When they're coming from an emotional place and a hateful place, you never take those things into consideration, because oftentimes we say things that we don't mean. You also have to take into account, by not reacting to other people, you are less likely to become a target. So this is in reference to not only with just like your friends and family, but also like random people, like nasty receptionist or nasty people at the store. The more sensitive you are to your surroundings and the things the things other people say, the more likely you are to be a target. Miserable people seek out and smell the sensitivities are in others, the insecurities, the lack of confidence. They have like a radar. So when you show these vulnerabilities and you show that you care, you are more likely to be a target. And oftentimes when you are a more sensitive person, you're more likely to want to bring up your feelings, like, hey, this really hurt my feelings, or I don't like that you did this. Here's the thing, and this is something that maybe not everyone will agree with, but not everyone is worth knowing your feelings. Sometimes it's not a good place to share your feelings. It can sometimes be more harmful to share your feelings than it is to not share your feelings at all and just be non-reactive to situations. Because when you share your feelings with people that are not worth knowing your feelings and your vulnerabilities, they can use it as a weapon or use it as something against you, especially people that don't genuinely care about you. The situations and the times where it matters the most to share your feelings and your vulnerabilities are in your inner circle and people that you trust and people that you have built a relationship with and that you want to continue to build a relationship with. If you don't have a relationship with this person, or they don't matter, they're not worth knowing how something makes you feel. Or if they're like an acquaintance, it's not worth building upon that and letting them know how something affects you, because you don't care about continuing this relationship. It doesn't matter. It's completely different from sharing how you feel, how like something bothers you, and then sharing how you want things to change. You know, there is setting boundaries. You have to set boundaries all over the place, but with someone that's not prevalent in your life, or someone that's not in your inner trust circle, they just need to know the boundaries. They don't need to know how things make you feel. So to understand how to become more non-reactive, here's the thing. When someone says something, you're gonna feel a type of way. You're a human. You are not in control of how something makes you feel. You're gonna just immediately feel it. It's without thinking. You're gonna get angry, you're gonna get frustrated. That protective part of you is gonna come out. That's normal and natural. That's okay. But the minute you choose an action and you act on these feelings and you become reactive, that's when you make your feelings other people's responsibility. And that is when you become reactive and lose control. And when you make other people responsible for your feelings, that is when you stay in that reactive state and you lose control of yourself, and other people can manipulate you and how you're feeling and your day. So in order to become non-reactive, you need to own your own feelings. You feel this type of way. Someone was a jerk. Someone said something nasty. Someone said something hurtful. You feel something. That's normal and that's okay. That is on you and how you handle those feelings. That is not on them. People often will say, well, they made me angry and made me do this thing. No, they didn't. They don't have a brain chip in your brain that controls you. They didn't make you do anything. Harsh reality is that you need to take responsibility for yourself and how you choose to respond to situations. It doesn't matter what someone does. You always are the one who chooses how to react in situations. That's why everyone reacts so differently. Some people react by just being calm in situations, and other people react by exploding. When you own your own feelings, you no longer are giving control away, because oftentimes when you make someone else responsible for your feelings and you become reactive, you are wanting and expecting other people to change in order for you to feel good. And that is where it can get dangerous, because now you're waiting on outside circumstances to make you feel better. So you could go like a whole day just being miserable because someone else didn't like say sorry, or make amends, like, or you're venting to everyone and you're just staying in this mood because you're expecting someone else or something else to turn your mood around or make it better. it's your job to do those things. It's your job to handle situations. And that is one of the first steps to become non-reactive, is to own your part and take ownership. Because it feels so much more relieving of knowing when to take ownership. You're not responsible for them and that they were a jerk and they said these things. Like I had said, it's so important for you to be aware that they're coming from a hurtful, bad place. But you want to own how you respond and react to these situations. Once you own your own feelings, it's so important that you de-escalate the situation by taking a deep breath. And if you need to walk away from the situation, you walk away from the situation and come back to it, or just continue and having a conversation like you normally would. Like, let's say a receptionist says something nasty, you don't show any type of reaction and you continue to just respond like to their question they had asked or whatever it is, or if they're saying something nasty, be like, okay, what is it that you need? You know, just continuing keeping it to the topic at hand, because then they'll feel stupid because their goal wasn't reached. They wanted to get a reaction out of you. They wanted you to be nasty back. They wanted you to fight back. They will feel so stupid because it's a mission. You know, they'll still be feeling like a jerk and they'll be miserable, and they can take that energy with them. You don't want to take it with you. Now, this is different, where I know some people are going to be like, but what if I have to stand up for myself? That's a whole other video. That's a whole other topic. Standing up for yourself is completely different, but you're less likely going to need to stand up for yourself if you're non-reactive and you're confident in yourself and you're more assertive. Those three are the power combination. And also taking your power back by, you know, poking fun at yourself too. That also is a way for you to not become a target. But I digress. The next thing is when you're alone and, like, let's say it wasn't a random person. Let's say it was someone that was close to you that says something that was nasty, that really hit close to home, and maybe it was something that you've been trying to work on, or something, it's a person you don't want to be, and it really hurt that they said these things. You know, people's deliveries aren't always the best. It's good for you to evaluate what they said and see what you can learn from it. So let's say that you've been a really negative person, you've been trying to work on being negative, and they took a passive-aggressive dig at you that, like, you're still just a negative, miserable person. So you can evaluate that and be like, okay, maybe they said it in the wrong time, maybe they weren't very empathetic when they said it, but let me evaluate, you know, do I feel like I am this negative person? Do I feel like I have some work to do? Maybe I'll, you know, continue on this path of trying to be more positive and prove them wrong. And, you know, I'm just gonna focus on my actions rather than, you know, getting hurt by this comment, because I don't want to be this negative person. See it from an objective point of view and just see, okay, you know, what did I learn from this interaction, and how can I grow and improve from this situation? And if someone says something that's slightly true, that's a harsh reality, but they said it in a nasty way, you can say, you know what, I'm going to continue to make an effort to not be this person that they're saying that I am, and I'm not going to take it so personally, and I know that they most likely weren't thinking straight. That is a way for you to get out of your ego, because that you know, those insecurities or those things we feel shameful about or we don't want to be, that's when our ego will come out and we want to get defensive and we want to get angry at the person for saying that thing. But it's okay for us to evaluate and say, okay, was there a little bit of truth behind that? You know, or do I just not want to be that person? If I don't want to be that person, then I'm just going to continue on this path of not being that person, not ruminating on it and worrying about the past and how I, you know, have tried to make change and, you know, having all these intrusive thoughts. It's like, okay, I'm going to continue to make this progress of being less of this person that they're thinking I am, or they're trying to make me out to be. And that's how you gain full confidence in yourself and not gaslight yourself of like, oh, you know, I am just this terrible person they're saying I am. No, you can continue on of proving through your actions that you are not, and you continue to not want to be this person that maybe they're trying to make you out to be. Overall, the consensus and the lessons here are, people are gonna hate. They're coming from a low place. Don't take it personally. Understand they're just coming from a place of trying to hurt. That's their goal, is they're hurting, so they want to try to hurt. And so when it comes to people that you don't really matter in your life, you just continue on and just keep the conversation to what you need to be talking about, or you walk away from the conversation and you just show no reaction, that it does not bother you because they just said that because they're a miserable person. Or if it's someone that you are close with that had hurt you, you can definitely talk about it, share your feelings. But overall, well, it depends if they're narcissistic or not. With a narcissist, you definitely just want to act like it didn't even happen and show no reaction, because they're less likely to say it. That's the thing, is if you don't react to things, they're less likely to continue to say those things because they're embarrassed. So, but just continue on your path of continuing to just be yourself and continue to work on the things that really matter to you, and evaluate, you know, what do I believe is true and what do I not believe is true. So what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Let's first start off by doing a thumbnail. That's what they say, you get more bees with honey than you do lemons. I don't know what the saying is.